everyone, my name is Jackie and today I'm back with another video for my Books by Black Authors I Want to Read series, and today I want to talk about the fantasy books I'm interested in. As last time, I will leave some links down below about how to help the Black Lives Matter movement, all the books I talk about, and some Black booktubers I really enjoy watching. So let's just get right into it. So the first book is A Blade So Black by L.L. McKinney, and it's described as Buffy the Vampire Slayer goes to Wonderland, which sounds really interesting. So it's about a girl named Alice who was trained to fight monsters, but then her mentor gets poisoned and she has to go deeper into Underworld than she ever was before. And I actually really like Alice in Wonderland retellings, even though I don't read that much, now that I think about it. But this sounds really interesting, and I was a big Buffy fan, so that's great too. So the next book is A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy, and it's a North African inspired fantasy world about two sisters fighting to death for the crown. And it's about the two sisters, Eva and Isa, but when Eva is attacked by an assassin, she realizes there's more to it than just her sister wanting her dead, that there are other powers behind her that too want to kill her. So Eva turns to a Fey instructor to help her grow her magic so that she can survive. The next book is Akata Witch by Nyindi Okorafor, and it's about 12-year-old Sunny who was born in New York but is now living in Nigeria, and she's albino, so she can't really go into the sun much, but even though that's all she wants to go outside and play with the other kids. But then she befriends Orlu and Gigi and becomes part of the world of leopard people, where your worst defects become your greatest strength, and they have to track down a man who maims children. I already ordered this and it should probably have already arrived by the time you see this video, so I'll try to read this very soon. So the next book on this list I also already ordered, and it's A Song of Wrath and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. This is the first book in a fantasy duology inspired by West African folklore. It's about Malik, who rigs the competition to become the crown princess's husband, and then he's supposed to kill her to save his sister. But Karina only holds this competition because she needs a king, so then she can use him in a ritual to resurrect her mother who was killed. It's supposed to be an enemies to lovers romance, and I really love this kind of romance. I'm absolutely there for it. So also the cover is amazing and beautiful, so a reason more to read it. The next book is The Bells by Donielle Clayton, and it's set in a world where there are so-called bells who can control beauty and they can make everyone beautiful. And Camelia Bogart is such a belle, but she also wants to be a favorite. She wants the belle chosen by the Queen of Orleans. So the next book on my list is Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. I already read Children of Blood and Bone and really enjoyed it. It's about Seelie, who has magical powers but is not allowed to use them because the monarchy of Orisha forbid all magic, and in the first book she meets Amari, the princess of Orisha, and together they try to bring back magic to this world. I really enjoyed the first one, so I really want to read the second one. The next book is Legend Born by Tracy Dion, and it's about Brie Matthews, who is 16 and her mother just died in an accident, and she wants to just get out of her life at the moment. So there's a program for high schoolers at university where she goes, but then she witnesses a magical attack on her first day there. And somehow it comes to light that Brie too has some hidden magical powers. The next book is Maya and the Rising Dark by Rena Barron, and it's about 12-year-old Mara whose father goes missing, and she discovers that her father is a guardian of the wheel between our world and the dark, where there is a so-called Lord of Shadows who is part of Maya's nightmares. And Maya also discovers that she is a godling, which means she is half human and half Orisha, and her neighborhood is a safe haven and she has to keep it safe and find her father. The next book is Binti by Nyindi Okorafor, and Binti is the first one of her people who gets offered a place at the UMSA University, so she decides to give up her place among her family to travel there and learn. But the world she enters is at war with an alien species, and she has to figure out how to survive this war that actually has nothing to do with her. An Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivera Solomon is set on a spaceship that's on the way to a promised land with all the rest of humanity on it. There are two classes, and dark-skinned sharecroppers like Esther are on the bottom of it all because they are considered less than human. But an autopsy of one of the ship's sovereigns reveals a surprising link between his death and Esther's mother's suicide. So Esther retraces her mother's footsteps and learns there might be a way off the ship if she's willing to fight for it. So the next book is Rivera by Jordan Ifueko, and it's about Carisei, who is sent to become a part of the Crown Prince's council, and then she will be bound through the raid to the rest of the council and I think also the prince. But her mother, who is only called the lady, has another plan for her because she wants her daughter to kill the Crown Prince then. But Carisei doesn't want, because she wants to belong in this council. So the next book is Daughters of Nier by Rennie K. Amayo, and it's about two sisters, twins, who were separated at birth so that they could survive, because they're the only remnants that exist of the gods that disappeared. Nala lives in a quiet small village and constantly seeks for adventure, while the more reserved Sinai resides in the cold and political palace of Nier. Both of them have also magical powers, and along the way their path leads them back to the same place to meet each other once more. The next book is Song of Blood and Stone by Al Penelope, and it's about two kingdoms who have been separated for centuries through a magical thing called the Mantle. But the Mantle is cracking, and the ruler of one of the kingdoms decides to try and seize power. Alright, so that were all the fantasy books I had on my list. It's quite a bit, and I really want to read them all at one point. So if you have read any of these, let me know down below. Let me know what you thought. Which books should I definitely read? Which books should I get to first? And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!